Welcome to Mother Daughter Projects. I'm Steph. Today we're going to assemble the Seville Garage Storage Cabinet that we picked up at Sam's Club. This heavy-duty cabinet holds 600 pounds with 150 pounds per shelf. This is a major upgrade from the old broken cabinets I got third-hand that have been in my garage for years that have been rusting out on the bottom. After I built one cabinet, I was so happy with it that I went back for a second one. But during the first build, I had two issues that were very time-consuming that I'll share about during the video so you don't have to deal with them too. The first step when assembling anything is to read the manual. And when you read, you will see it is recommended to use 2 people to assemble the cabinet. But Mom was out of town when I built these, so I'll show you the one-person assembly. Let's get started. First, I unboxed. Everything was well packed and organized within the box. Don't forget the manual, it was at the bottom. There was a lot of styrofoam, so be sure you dispose of that properly. All the hardware came bagged and well labeled. I like to separate them into cups with their number for easy access. I laid everything out and looked through the manual to make sure I had everything I needed. The one thing I thought was missing was the key to unlock the cabinet, but that was taped to the door handle, so look for that when inventorying the items. While inventorying, one thing I noticed was the back piece was bent. I tried bending it back into place, but decided to move forward and deal with that when I got to that step. First, assemble the sides. The cabinet comes with a Phillips screwdriver, but I'm going to use a powered screwdriver to go a bit faster. But being very mindful not to over-torque the screws. This can be used in 2 different configurations. All the parts come well labeled and the instructions were very straightforward. I always start by loosely tightening the screws, and once all the screws are in place, I go back and fully tighten them. These are all supposed to be hand tightened, so I was very careful with the powered screwdriver and finished off with a hand screwdriver. With the 2 sides done the same way, I moved on to the doors. This is where I had my first issue. As I was screwing this into place, on the other side of the door, there appears to be a soldered lock nut, which became dislodged and it just continued to turn infinitely. I tried holding it with pliers, but it was still a little loose. So my advice is be very careful when attaching this part and only hand screw this into place. That's what I did for the second door and had no issues. The rest is straightforward. This is the door panel connection part that I loosely screwed into place, then fully tightened. Here's a good look at the labeling on each part. There was an arrow to make sure you get the right direction. The second door is the exact same process, the only difference is you add the key rod, which is the locking mechanism. The manual recommends you lay something down to protect the cabinet while building. I assembled the frame, being mindful of the fronts that include places for the magnet hardware. The back panels fit very nicely into place, but this is where I ran into my bent piece. I tried to mallet it into place, and while it still is bent, it's gonna work. Second issue alert, see what I'm doing here? Don't put screws here, 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 or here. The manual is not clear at all, as it makes it appear that wherever there is a hole, you put a screw. I will show you at the end of the video why it took me 20 minutes to fix this error. This is the second cabinet I assembled, and I found it easier to hand screw all these into place. Also, I highly recommend getting a rolling cart to make this a smooth process. This is not the order in the manual, but I would recommend while you're already screwing in the back place, go ahead and put the back bumpers into place. And this is why you don't put the other screws here, as this is where the bumpers go. We'll put the front bumpers on in a minute. While it's laying down, put the 4 casters into place. I was concerned I would not be able to lift the cabinet by myself, but it was not really heavy and I was able to lift it in place no problem. And it already rolls with perfection. Add the top and middle corner protectors. This was straightforward. Now add the front bumpers. If you took my advice, the back bumpers should already be on. The door magnets easily attach on the top and bottom of the frame. This is best to hand tighten. The doors are the only thing you really need another person's help with. The doors can shift up and down depending on where you need them placed, and it's hard to hold them and screw the hinge in place at the same time. But when I assembled the second cabinet, I used my foot to hold the door in place while I strategically screwed in enough screws to hold the door, and then I could put my foot down. The little extra challenge is that it's on casters, so it tends to move. Again, it is doable with one person as you see me doing it myself, but I would recommend having a second person to help with the doors, if not the whole assembly. The first door I put on did not close as it was too close to the top, so you need to be mindful about making sure there's enough clearance on the top and bottom when securing the doors. It works! The shelves are held in place with these hooks that easily attach into the sides. There are 3 included shelves, but limited placement, which I'll talk about in a second. And I think the best part of this build is to start organizing and sorting all my things. What we learned. Here are both cabinets completely done, and I love them so much. Our goal for garages is to have everything on wheels for optimal flexibility and movability. After I built the second cabinet, I realized that because it was so easy to move that I could store things behind and to the side of it. So I added 2 fast track rails that we had taken down years ago and have maximized storage in this corner now. Taking a look inside, you can see I've stored a lot already, but I can always change that and move things around in the future. Now this middle shelf is really limited as to where it can be placed because the middle shelf needs to be on hooks and can't be directly on the sides. So you can move it up or down, but not exactly right in the middle. I found this a little bit of a challenge when I was setting up the second cabinet as I had to keep moving items that were too tall. Also, the front is stainless steel and protected with UltraGuard fingerprint resistant finish. The manual says not to use traditional stainless steel cleaners. To safely manage unwanted fingerprints and prevent new stains, perform the following once a month. Lightly wipe with warm water and clean microfiber cloth. Always wipe in the direction of the surface grain, never across. Wipe away excess water with a dry, clean cloth. The cabinet does include mounting hardware to secure it to the wall, but it defeats the purpose of the wheels, but it is there for safety. Now you saw I used a powered screwdriver for a lot of this build, but when I built the second cabinet, I ended up using a hand screwdriver more. So I would say it's not completely necessary to have a powered screwdriver, but it could speed up a couple tasks if you already have one. Remember when I pointed out my second issue with the assembly? Well, when I went to attach the back bumper to the first cabinet, I had in fact already put screws where the bumper is supposed to go at the bottom. So I tried to simply unscrew it with no success. It was stuck in place. I tried to pry it out, drill it out, nothing worked. So I ultimately had to cut the head off the corner screw for the bumper to sit flush and could only attach to the bumper with 3 screws instead of 4. This will work fine, but remember, don't put screws in those 4 bottom spots or you'll have this issue. Overall, I'm completely happy with these heavy-duty garage cabinets. They are much more versatile than what I had before, and because they're on wheels, they can easily move around and move with me. I think these are completely worth the money, and these cabinets are available in a lot of places, but if you have a Sam's Club membership, you can get it at an even better deal. Thanks for joining. If you want to see more content from us, be sure to visit us at motherdaugghterprojects.com and click here to join our free weekly newsletter where you get all our projects right in your inbox.